Great. Thanks everyone for joining us tonight for our second leaders meeting for Pipsico's Summer Resident Camp 2023. We started doing these leaders meetings 2 years ago and have found that they were very helpful both for us and for you. So we're glad to continue to do the meetings tonight. We're going to use our normal format, which is we're first going to convey some information to you, and then we will be glad to take questions after we do that. As a matter of process, we have, and I'll introduce some folks in a minute, we have a lot of members of our summer resident camp team on the call with us tonight, subject matter experts, if you will. So if you have questions, you can feel free to put them in the chat. We have a couple of people watching the chat and we'll try to respond to you. It likely will not be me. It's a little hard to respond to the chat and run the meeting at the same time. So we've got somebody who will try to respond to questions in the chat. And then, as I said, we'll preserve some time at the end for questions. Let me start with what for us is super important, which is that we are having an incredibly successful staff hiring season. We have offered positions to more than 60 folks already, and are tracking at about a 70% return rate. So that means of the folks, 70% of them have worked at Pipsico before. And know us, know our customer service philosophy, know what we're trying to achieve as a summer camp that is there to supplement the programs of your individual units. So while we're here together, let me just, at the risk of leaving someone out, note that on the call, our business manager, Bill Lawrence, is on the call. Rick McElrath, our aquatics directors, on the call. Bob Buter, our program director, order other than how I see you on the screen. AJ Vasta, our trading post manager and director, is on the call. Lisa Miller, who runs our dining services, is on the call. Eric Hoyt, our health and safety officer, is on the call. I saw Jim Kroom, who's part of our aquatic staff. He's on the call. Did I miss anyone? If I missed you, speak up. I don't mean to leave any of our teammates out. Wes Parker, I'm sorry, Wes Parker, our vice president of camping and who runs our Southampton Roads program, is on the call. Sorry about that, Wes. Okay, so we'll, but just wanted you to know our team as well. Let me turn it over to Eric for our health and safety update. We do this regularly. You know, the BSA is very much focused on having a health and safety moment at major BSA meetings. And we're way ahead of the curve because we've been doing this since we started doing these adult leader meetings. So Eric, if I can turn it over to you.
Yes, outstanding. I'm going to turn my video off because I'm at another location with some bad internet. So please chime in if I start sounding very garbled or cut out. So our safety moment for tonight, have the right PPE. So let's talk about what PPE is. PPE is personal protective equipment. And so we want to make sure that our guests at camp and our staff at camp have the right equipment for their job. And so, for example, if they're down at the waterfront, we want to make sure that they've got shoes that are going to protect their feet, but are also appropriate for being in the water. We want to make sure that if they're hiking, that they have a pair of hiking boots with them. If they know there's going to be liquid sunshine, which there often is, that they have rain gear. So tonight we want to just remind everybody to make sure you always have the right equipment for the job or for what you're going to be doing. And other notes for health and safety stuff, just want to let you know a little bit of what's going on in national related to some new expectations that are going to be coming out. So we have this program called NCAP, which is the accreditation process for Scouts BSA. And one of the things they would like us to start focusing on is youth mental health. So one of the things that I'm working on right now in conjunction with our council physician and the Enterprise Risk Management Committee and other parties that are involved is coming up with a protocol and policy procedure for dealing with mental health in case there is a camper who's struggling or a guest of any kind struggling with some kind of mental health issues, how to identify those issues, what we will be able to offer them as far as resources on property, and what we would have to do perhaps to get them help off the property. So that's one of the things that I'm working on right now. I just want to throw that out there so you understand we're always looking to make our program better and safer and be more responsive to the needs of our guests and our campers. We are very fortunate that we do have some folks on property who have degrees with either social work or psychology, and we've been using that resource over the last couple of years. So we're going to continue to look forward, some of that. Just as a reminder, in case you did not make it to the last meeting, we have a video. We're not really focusing on COVID anymore. We're now focusing more on just identifying signs and symptoms of contagious illnesses. So we're just asking you to do the best that you can to reduce the exposure of campers prior to camp. Encourage parents to have their youth avoid major events where they would be around many other people prior to coming to camp. For example, sleepovers, large birthday parties with lots of people, anything like that. And we're also asking that you always check the health of the scouts before leaving. Just make sure you go through and check everybody before you actually head out, because we don't want to send anybody home as soon as they arrive at camp. Medical forms, I would be remiss if I didn't remind you about the annual health and medical record. All parts are needed by everyone, regardless of how long they are staying on property. And part C is that physical. So make sure that that gets done, and it must be up to date within the year, a calendar year. So for example, if they're coming in June, it can't expire at the end of May. It can expire at the end of June, but not at the end of May. And that is pretty much all I'm going to share for now. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them later on.
Great, Eric. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Let's talk a little bit about our update on some merit badges and some other program-related issues. Thanks to everybody who worked through the merit badge registration process. In the first 20 minutes that it was opened, over 1,600 merit badges were registered. Folks registered for over 1,600 merit badges in 20 minutes. A couple of notes. Scouts on the wait list for week 1 and week 3. Those weeks are over capacity in some ways, oversubscribed because units have continued to add scouts well beyond the number that they had reserved. So we're working through that. We know that it's especially an issue for session 6, week 1, where there was a bit of a shortage on merit badges availability. We are working on that, and we do not have an answer for you tonight, but we know that's an issue in week 1, session 6 in particular. So we'll be back in touch with the week 1 units a little later as we work through that. As I said, we have had very robust hiring, and we've hired about 60 folks already. We have 6 more interviews that we're doing tomorrow and Monday of some additional folks. So that's going incredibly well for us. As always, we are certainly interested in expertise that you bring with you to camp in the form of merit badge counselors. If you have adult leaders who are merit badge counselors and they would like to offer a merit badge during our summer camp, we would be happy to talk with them about the possibility of adding that to our program. The email there is summercamp@pipsicobsa.com. And if you would please, if you're going to send us information like that, put in the Ray line, offer to serve as merit badge counselor, and that'll just help us sort those emails and try to keep that straight as we work to add some additional options for folks, especially week 1 and week 3, which are large and oversubscribed. I want to talk about check-in. It's not too early to be thinking about check-in. So that you know our process, if you haven't been with us last summer, we send a pre-camp packet, usually in late May, to each unit that has key information about check-in, and it's not a lengthy document, but we ask you to please read it so that you're best prepared to get through check-in efficiently. We also, in that packet, send buddy tags to you so that you can fill out the name and unit number, and we send you an exact how-to sheet with a diagram and everything for how to fill out the buddy tag. You do not color in the buddy tags. We will do that when the unit gets there and we verify the swim test. But we have found that we save time by not having to fill out the buddy tags during the registration process. Next, we assign check-in times to units. We have found this works very well so that we don't have everybody show up at 1 o'clock and sit around for hours waiting in the parking lot. We do recognize that some units come from pretty far away, and we do our best to accommodate requests, but we don't guarantee them. If you need to request a specific time, if you would send us something at summercamp@pipsicobsa.com with the subject line, check-in time request, week number, and the number week you're coming, 1, 2, 3, or 4. When you get to the parking lot, only the Scoutmaster and the senior patrol leader need to come to the Burton Center to register. We don't need your whole troop. You can have them wait in the parking lot or on the side or out of the way, but not there in the main area in front of the Burton Center. The Scoutmaster should bring the medical forms with him or her to the Burton Center. We will take your medical forms right at the outstarters so that they can begin reviewing them, hopefully before your unit gets there, but certainly as soon as they possibly can get to them. Scouts should arrive in swimsuits and towels. We do not guarantee going to your campsite and unpacking a trunk before you do your swim check. Scouts should have their swimsuits and towels either on their body or in a day bag on their back so that they are ready to get in the water as necessary. And we'll talk more about swim checks in a minute. Well, actually right now. We do encourage units to pre-swim check where possible. And Rick McElrath, our aquatics director, is on. He can talk about the requirements. You know, as I've mentioned, week 1 and week 3 are heavy weeks. So we certainly encourage units those weeks. If you are able, take your scouts to a rec center, a YMCA, and do a swim check in advance. The pre-swim check form is available. I would note here, if you do your own pre-swim check, the swim test is a test of ability, not survival. Right? And what we mean by that is they are supposed to demonstrate proficiency in the stroke to get across the required yardage, not can they survive the required yardage. That's particularly important if you're going to put a scout in the swimming merit badge. A swimming merit badge is going to be very painful for a scout who survived the swim test but didn't actually pass the swim test. Rick, do you have anything you want to add on swim tests?
Yes, thank you, John. What John said is absolutely correct. We want to make sure that your checking goes smoothly. If you don't have to run all of your scouts through swim checks, it that will help the day for you go better. But we want to make sure that the swim checks are done properly. So like John said, the 75 yards on their stomach, a forward stroke,
Just a different
that
color?
needs to be, we need to ensure that those people are actually doing that very proficiently. If you want to have swim checks done ahead of time and have questions on a few scouts, we can do those separate swim checks for you on check-in also. And please remember, if you do your swim checks ahead of time, to bring the forms that you can leave with us. At the pool, we need a copy of the form that says who did the swim check, when it was done, etc., and what the outcome was. That's all I have for swim checks, John.
Great, Rick. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. While we're at it, we'll give you a heads up on our checkout process, particularly for folks who've not been with us the last year or so. We provide breakfast on checkout day. That's Saturday morning. We do breakfast on the dining hall porch, not in the dining hall. It's grab and go. Lisa and her team do a great job. We ask that you have your troop out of the site and in the parking lot no later than 9 a.m. Why, you might ask? Because we guarantee that our staff will be released by 11 a.m. and we use that morning of Saturday morning to reset the camp for the following week's participants and customers. So in order to meet those timelines that we commit to the parents of our staff, we ask that your units be out of your site and in the parking lot no later than 9 a.m. You don't have to leave the parking lot at 9 a.m., but you need to be up in the parking lot. During checkout or at the end of checkout, after you're cleared from your site, you'll go to the Burton Center, and that's where you'll receive your medical forms, patches, and so forth before you head home. We would note for units that have been asking, our normal process is that we do not use blue cards. We use the Black Pug system, and merit badge cards can be printed out of the Black Pug system when you get home if you need a blue card. So that's the checkout process at Pipsico in short form. Let's look ahead a little bit more from a food service perspective. Lisa is on. We have raised this with you on our prior call. If there is a specialty meal request for a dietary or medical purpose, you can place that request by sending the form that's on our website to foodservice@pipsicobsa.com. I should take a moment and thank folks. After we had our last call, we already started to receive some of those forms. As you can imagine, it's super important that we get them early because we start purchasing food before you get to camp. So we can't know the day you arrive that you need a specialty meal and acquire food. So we are very, very confident that we do a great job on specialty meals, but we have to know in advance. As part of that packet that we send you in late May, your checkout or the packet that provides information on check-in, we also include in there a list of the specialty meal requests we've received from your unit as of that date. So if there's anything to change, that's your last chance to do that. We talked about pre-swim checks, medical forms, just a reminder, I think we've all been doing this long enough to know that you need the medical forms, parts A, B, and C for an extended stay. When you bring your medical forms to camp, I said we'll take them from you at the Burton Center. Please don't have them in individual plastic sleeves. That just slows things down. Just give us either a loose stack or they can be in a binder that we can leaf through. But we don't want to be taking the time to have to pull them all out of the plastic sleeves. Key resources, we have a lot of information for you on our website. Most of your questions are going to be answered by the Leader's Guide that is available to you. The link is there. I'm sure you've all by now been to the resources page at the Pipsico website. The merit badge information is also there. And as you have questions, those are your first stop for answers for questions that may arise. And with that, I'll check with my team and see if we have any other items that I didn't cover that somebody wants to cover. Okay, if not, we'll open it up to questions.
Yeah, quick business item.
Oh, thank you, Bill. Sorry about that.
So your early, so if you're wanting to pay the early discount price, you will need to, you've got until the 20th of this month, so the Thursday after next, to get that squared away for each of your scouts. And then also your t-shirt order. If you want to pre-purchase t-shirts, the 15th is our hard date on that. So make sure that we have all that together by then. So those are our two big dates from a business standpoint.
Great, thank you, Bill. I appreciate you chiming in. That's great. All right, we've got a little bit of time. We've got some time left.
I got something real
Lisa.
quick.
All right, Lisa, please.
While I've gotten some forms in already, and I do appreciate that, I just wanted to let everybody know that if somebody's a vegan, they're on their own. I don't do vegan service, so I will be getting in touch with those parents. And any of the complicated allergies, let your parents know that I'll be getting in touch with them to discuss meal options and things as we get closer to camp.
Thanks, Lisa. I just saw a note about tents. We assign tents 2 people per tent, whether you're an adult or a youth. If you think you're going to need more tent capacity than that, you're welcome to bring troop tents, but we do not do 1 person, 1 tent for adults.
Hey, John, if I could.
Yes.
So Lisa made me think of something too that I have seen every summer, and it's important to bring up. Rescue medications. All too often I have during the check-in process, they come over to the dining hall and I have a conversation with any campers who have rescue medications such as albuterol inhalers, epinephrine pens, anything like that. And I often hear the scouts say, my EpiPen is back in my Scoutmaster's car, or it's back at the camp. We want the campers to carry rescue medications on them, and we want them, if they are mature enough to handle it. I strongly recommend that they not be stored in a warm place, because when you're talking 90-degree temperatures, 85-degree temperatures inside of a car, it's then 110, 120, whatever. It will destroy things like epinephrine. It will make it totally unusable. So when Lisa mentioned allergies, it prompted me to remember that we could be diligent about making sure their medications are well taken care of and safe.
Great, thanks, Eric. Bill, when you reported on t-shirts, did you have the date in front of you by which they have to be prepaid?
As far as the prepaid shirts, I know the order is due by the 15th. Let me double check if the payment's different.
Yeah, it's all the same. I replied in the messages. So
Great.
Okay.
All right, great.
Yes.
Thank you, Wes. Thank you, Wes. Okay, questions? We can either go the raise your hand on the screen route, which is a little hard because I've got 3 screens of you, or you can chime in if you have a question.
John,
Yes, please.
I just wanted to, we talked about in the first first call, to have the scouts look at the prerequisites and look at what the requirements are for the merit badges. Because last year we had a few, just as a reminder, that signed up for water sports and they were expecting to be playing in the pool, not out on the river learning how to water ski. And it's pretty hard when you get a young scout that sees water sports he's not necessarily thinking about water skiing if he hasn't looked at the requirements.
Yeah, thank you, Jim. He or she should definitely look at the requirements to make sure they know what they're getting into. Does anyone have a question?
Hey guys, thanks for doing the call. Hopefully you can hear me. Who's the best contact for billing questions and just final total amount due?
Yes, you
Bill?
can get hold of me through that for that question. Oh, Bill Lawrence. That's. I'll put my email address on chat.
Perfect. Thank you, Bill.
I have a quick question. 258 from Ashburn. I have some of my adults as waitlisted. How do I go about registering them? Because when initially I did only 2, but I need probably 3 more because I have 30 scouts. 2 people's not enough to manage 30 scouts. So how do I go about, getting that wait list moved up for my trial?
Yeah, if you would send an email to the summercamp@pipsicobsa.com, we can try to work with you on that. But which
Okay.
week are you coming?
Week 1.
No, that's the wrong answer. Okay, we'll see what we can do.
Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah. Thank you.
Hey, so some merit badges were added, I think, that are not in the merit badge guide, such as citizenship in the community. Is there any prerequisites for that?
Yeah, thanks. We'll take a look at whether we need to update that that one. That was a late add, and good catch that we don't have anything listed as a prerequisite. We'll look into that one for you and get back to you.
Okay, thanks.
I'm sorry, I didn't get the name for the dining services coordinator.
Yeah, so it's Lisa Miller, but
Lisa.
the email, yeah, the email there, Lisa, is at foodservice@pipsicobsa.com.
Yes, it
Le-
is.
Lisa, if you're still on, we have one adult that has severe food allergies. She's on a gluten diet. Would you be able to provide that, or should we determine our own contingency?
Gluten-free I can.
Okay.
The only thing I would ask is that she bring her own bread, because
Sure.
we don't typically order gluten-free bread. We do have
Sure.
pizza crusts and corn tortillas, but typically the bread and the buns we don't carry.
Okay. Very good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anyone else have a question tonight? I've got to see a hand up, but I can't tell who it is. The name on the screen is Jerusalem Telegraph.
I'm sorry, that was mine. My question to Lisa was answered. Thank you.
Okay, got
I'm
it. Yeah,
not
you bet.
familiar with Zoom. I don't know how to unraise
All
my
right,
hand.
no worries. Glad we were able to get you an answer.
Thank you.
I have a question. Do you guys do like fun activities? Like at other camps, they did like volleyball or just hikes or whatever. Like, do you guys have stuff like that?
Bob, you want to jump in there? Bob, were you able to hear that? I'll field it. What looks like Bob may be having some.
No,
You with me, Bob? Okay,
I
there.
got it. I was trying to figure.
Okay.
I was trying to figure out how to unmute it there. And I've got a shaky internet connection. We do have activities during the evenings. This year, we're going to have something new. It'll be like a patrol competition. Sunshine, the assistant program director, is working on that. But we do that. We have OA night, which is not just limited to OA people. We do have volleyball available if people want to play. We have a Gaga pit. Trying to think of, let's see, what else do we do? We have the Aqua Dome. That's Rick's territory on Wednesday night. Trying to think off the top of my head what else we have. If anybody can help me with it. jump
Free
in
swim.
here.
Free swim on Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday nights. We also have troop swims available that the troops will be able to sign up for on those same 3 nights.
And we do have, and I'm not sure what nights they will be, but we will have open archery and open rifle. And there's some times that Matt does some special events at the climbing tower. And we may be adding some new stuff this year. One thing, if you read your adult leaders guide, they talk about a movie night on Thursday. It's not in the schedule and we are not doing a movie night. So hate to disappoint you, but we won't be doing that. So like I said, and we'll come up with some other stuff to keep them busy during the evening.
Yeah, thank you, Bob. I wanted to also address kind of globally, like merit badges. So I saw a question, can a scout take a session off? Hey, it's their camp. Take a merit badge, go take a walk in the woods, do whatever you want. I would also say on merit badges, signing up for a merit badge is not a guarantee that a scout gets a merit badge. Our job is to provide scouts an opportunity to earn a merit badge, and that's what we do. But the scout has to do the work to get the merit badge. So we don't guarantee completions. We don't measure ourselves by completion ratios. We measure ourselves by whether we provided an opportunity for a scout to do the requirements for a merit badge. Now, and that said, I also want to note our counselors are very good about working with scouts who want to get the merit badge and are putting the effort in and make themselves available in the staff members' free time and so forth to try to help scouts. So we definitely provide the opportunity. There's no doubt about that.
Hey, John, also about activities to do in downtime. It's been, from what I understand, from what I've heard from unit leaders, Pipsico is somewhat unique in that we allow bikes and we allow the scouts to bring bikes up to the camp. And so they are also welcome to bring their bikes up. We just request, just like it may be an ordinance in your particular community, that they wear a helmet whenever they're riding their bike. And we ask that they not ride their bikes after dark, even if they have a lamp, because there are many blind corners and trees, preventing people from being able to see a bike that's coming around the corner. But we do have a lot of area that they can explore on a bike and enjoy that kind of, free time.
I have a question about camping and the tents. We have 3 brand new scouts that just joined. All 3 girls are 10.5 years old. Is there a problem if we put all 3 girls in one tent so that they are not by themselves? The next closest age is 14. So we know we can't put them in with any other scout.
We leave the management of the campsite to the scout unit. We provide tents for 2 people per tent. And if that's what your unit needs to do to satisfy the requirements for tenting and keeping folks in the right age range, that would be your unit's decision.
Thank you.
I have another question. So my daughter is 15. She earned her Eagle last November. So she's going to summer camp just because she likes summer camp and she loves her troop. I think she got waitlisted on a couple of stuff. Is there an opportunity for her to volunteer during summer camp if she has many periods like free?
Yes, please.
Okay, perfect. So who do we contact for that?
So let me jump in for a minute. We would be happy to have her volunteer. There are a couple of places that are more likely, which is the dining hall facility. It would not be in a program role. At age 15, she would be eligible for our counselor in training program. But the young people who participate in that program are required to be at a minimum of staff week and at least 1 or 2 other weeks of our camp. And most of them do the whole summer. So there's a couple of opportunities.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey, John, I have a question for you.
away.
regarding staff, is there going to be training before staff week?
So yeah, we've sent a note out to our staff. We do a 1-day voluntary day that they are welcome to join and start to get to know one another. And we've sent that out to the emails that each individual staff members provided us in the first staff update. And the second staff update will be coming out in the next few weeks, and it'll remind them of that date as well, Skip.
Yeah, I have a scout asking about it. I don't think she saw it yet. Thank you.
Oh, you bet.
John, can I speak?
Yeah, of course, AJ.
I'm AJ, the Trading Post manager. I saw some questions on the messages there about the T-shirt prices. They are correct. It's $15 pre-order, but just to warn you, they're going to be $20 if you don't pre-order and you get them in the Trading Post. And also, you know, the sizes you need won't be guaranteed. Last year, I was wiped out by a lot of people that missed the deadline. They came in and got whatever I had. Of course, we ordered more, but that's not going to help you in the week of. So really, really try to get those T-shirt pre-orders in, and don't depend on the Trading Post having what you need. Plus, at $5 extra per boy, that's not really helping them out financially either. So I just wanted to let you know that.
Thanks, AJ. Good reminder. Appreciate that. Other questions tonight?
Rick, there's a question in the chat about open swim opportunities.
Yep, I just saw that. So let me go through the pool schedule for everybody. If the scouts are interested in mile swim, we do that in the morning at 6:45. They must attend 4 of the 5 practice sessions in the morning. We do that Monday through Friday. Then they do the mile swim after program on Friday afternoon. So right about 5 o'clock, we'll get going with that. We have open swim Monday from 7:30 to 9, Tuesday from 7:30 to 9, and Thursday from 7:30 to 9. That's open swim. Anybody come down to the pool, have a great time. On Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, those same 3 nights, we have troop swims available in half-hour sessions from 9 to 10:30. So there's 3 troop swims available every night. Every one of those 3 nights, excuse me. Does that answer people's questions about the pool schedules?
I'm sorry, what were the 3 nights the troop swim slots are available?
Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday.
Great, thank you.
And if you just want to come down and swim laps in the morning and get up at 6:30 and come see us at the pool and have fun, Bob, if you want to join us, come on down to the pool and swim laps in the morning. That's fine. But that is a lap swim time.
I have a question about the training. I see your. Go ahead. I see.
You can go.
I see we have adult training listed. We have Scoutmaster specific. Are you offering IOLS also?
No, we are not offering IOLS. We do not have a trainer.
All right, thank you. Just wanted to double check because I've got a brand new Scoutmaster coming down.
Yeah. Wish we could pull that off, but so far we were not able to. So I don't want to tell you otherwise.
All right, thank you.
So I have a question for week 3. I know that there's some merit badges that are wait listed. What are those merit badges? Because we can, like Scoutmasters who are merit badge counselors teach while we're there, just to give scouts an opportunity to take those merit badges.
Yeah, so you may have missed this at the beginning and during our formal presentation, but we did request that if a adult leader was interested in offering a merit badge while they were at camp, they could send us an email, and we would talk with them separately. And let me see if I can pull that back up. So. That email, summercamp@pipsicobsa.com, with a subject line that says offer to serve as merit badge counselor.
Thank you.
Yep, thank you. Other questions? I saw one about the t-shirt design. We can send that out in an email update to adult leaders probably next week.
Yeah, I just posted one about the trading post. I know that when we went to summer camp last year, it was a big thing with the scouts. All right, what's at the trading post? What kind of extra or additional chow can we get? Or it was actually kind of comical to hear it, but what is your trading post like? What kind of, things that, obviously you can get scout stuff in there, but they just want to know about candy and, extra stuff that after about 3 days they're missing.
Yep, go ahead, AJ, jump in there.
So we have it's a pretty good stock trading post. We have your drinks and all the kinds of candies and stuff, and we have another side of the trading post that we serve alligator ice out of. Also, we're probably going to have popcorn this year. We found at our camp that kudos to the dining hall that scouts leave pretty well satisfied, unlike some other camps where they get out of the dining hall and rush to the trading post to get pizzas and whatever. It's not like that at our camp. So we do offer some things, mainly cool, refreshing drinks, and I think you'll enjoy it. It's pretty well stocked. We do just a reminder though. We've got a new POS system, and we've been running $10 minimum for credit cards in the past. But I was last few weekends I've been checking out $5, and it seems to be working fine. The credit cards work faster, so they will need to bring some cash so that they're not constantly having to buy, multiple sodas. But we've lowered the credit card limit to $5 instead of 10. So some good information for you.
Do we still
Yeah,
have
ice cream
sandwiches?
And let me just say, AJ totally undersold this thing. He's got candy, he's got chocolate, he's got sodas, he's got ice cream sandwiches, he's got multiple types of ice cream sandwiches. He has alligator ice, which is probably our most popular item at our camp. So we've got a bunch of stuff. We'll be happy to keep them sugared up and then hand them back to you at 8 o'clock at night to deal with.
That's just wrong.
Oh, but there's dessert with dinner too.
Hey, AJ, is still a requirement to have their totem chip with them, correct?
Yes, thank you for bringing that up. We do offer a bunch of knives, and the way we look at it is that if you give your scout the totem chip card, that you're allowing him to buy, knives from us. If you look at our selection, or we tell them they have to follow their troop rules, but we can't obviously know what every troop's rules are. So just make sure they know what they are and are not allowed to buy, and make sure they have the paper version of the totem chip card that has where they signed and agreed to the rules, and then we will sell them knives. Thank you for asking.
All right, we're just trying to look at the chat here. Trying to just look at the chat and see if we've missed anything.
This is Jim Lebrecht, 2877-2899. I'm the COR. I was wondering if there's an early visit we can do like in the first week or so. So we haven't been there in over 10 years. Last time I had a troop go down there for the Scoutmasters or myself to come down. So we understand the logistics of coming in and the campsites. Or I may have missed that in the documentation. I do apologize.
No, no worries. Welcome back. We're glad to have you. We're super excited to have you, in fact. We would welcome you to come down and visit. I would say week 1 is not the time to do it. Week 2, kind of Monday, Tuesday of week 2, we'd love to have you swing down and visit for a day or so, or an afternoon. And if you give us a heads up, I might even buy you lunch.
Okay. I might take you up on that.
All right. And I only say week 1 because during week 1 we are dealing with the national, in addition to our
No,
customers.
I understand. I understand week 1.
Yeah, we have our national assessors in camp that week as well.
I've gone through that 22 times, so got it.
Yeah, thank you. Well, it's which council are you from, Jim?
Heart of Virginia.
Yeah, well, our assessors from our lead assessors from your council.
So it's probably Tom McKee.
It's actually Roland Creamer.
Ah, okay, Roland. That's even better. I've camped with Roland for over 25 years, so got it.
All right. We'll put in a good, not that we need it, but put in a good word. We actually have a great relationship with Roland. We have no trouble at all. But it is just an extra load of work going on that first week.
No, I do understand.
Yeah, appreciate it. Appreciate it. Anything else folks have? I see Molly's offering to buy me an ice cream sandwich already. That's awesome. So listen, let me just kind of conclude tonight by saying this. The team that you see here from Pipsico, with the exception of Bill Lawrence, we are all volunteers. We all have other jobs and responsibilities. This is our 1 hour a week per youth, per program, per summer camp attendee, whatever. So we appreciate your patience when it takes us a little bit to respond to an email or what have you. Recognize that a bunch of us who do that and who have day responsibilities as well. So we are being as quick back to you as we can, but I just want to thank you for understanding that we're all volunteers. We do this because we love scouting. We love the opportunity to provide a great, not even great, an awesome summer camp experience to young people. We are super excited to see you all this summer. As always, camp is communal living, and so we'll all work hard to pull it off together. We know that you will help us, and we will help you and your unit have a great summer experience. Any other questions?
Hey, John, this is Laura. This is for AJ. The trading post with the alligator ice, those that have the cups from years prior, will you be offering discounted refills or new discounted refill cups for scouts to buy?
If they have the mugs from previous promotions, we're still honoring that. We're still not hand people's cups, but we are we do fill those up at a discounted price. Yes.
Will you be selling new ones?
That's not in the plan for this year to have the new ones. We just had a spike in the cost of the alligator ice, and I've got to re-look at that whole thing and see what would be fair. But it looks like this year that's not going to take place.
Hey, thanks a lot.
Okay, everyone, thank you very much. We have one more of these scheduled. You'll get email notices to the leaders for that last meeting. So in the meantime, we've provided you the email address for if you would like to volunteer to be a merit badge counselor, to reach out to us. We've provided the email for specialty meals. And we've provided the email and the subject line if you absolutely need to request a particular time slot for arriving at camp. Those slots are 1, 2, 3, and 4 p.m. All right. In the meantime, we wish you all to be awesome, and we'll see you next time. Good night. And Bill, if you haven't already, you go ahead and stop the recording.